Hi, this is Dr. Gary, and welcome to my weekly tune-up this week. Every week I hear a lot from all of you regarding a lot of the things going on in the news. That seems to polarize a lot of people. And this week has been no different. And all I'm going to say is this. This week in the news, there's been a lot of news about Paula Deen and what she said, and then the aftermath of the way people look at what she said and their personal opinions on it, on what she said. And each one of us have our opinions. They're kind of like eyeballs and noses. Everybody has them. However, because you have one or I have one doesn't necessarily mean I'm correct. And here's the big thing about that, is in the context of what these things happen that we draw opinions on other people with, we have not got all the answers. You know, each one of us, as I say, live a complex equivalency, and our belief system is much different than everyone else's. When we hear somebody being persecuted and prosecuted, and we draw an opinion on it, a personal opinion, and start slamming that person, whether it's your friend and they said something to someone and then someone didn't like it, so they said something to someone else, or it's happening in your workplace, or it's happening if you're a professional, maybe a client is upset at you, and then they start spreading things around about you that are untrue, or maybe you're doing that. Listen, we've got to get our act together, and we have to get it together fast. I'm not sure how many people watch the news. I would discourage it. However, I do pay attention to it because a lot of the things I talk about with people in my private practice in helping them and mentoring them has to do with what they're listening to out there. If you're listening to all this BS that's on television right now and radio about Paula Deen and other people, I suggest that you keep your mouth shut, keep your own opinions to yourself, because most of us do not have the full story. And the bottom line is, those things happened way in the past anyway. We've got to deal with what the issues are today. With feeding people, getting jobs, with raising our kids with values. Do you realize one of the most fascinating things people are watching right now are brat kids on the internet who are tweeting and YouTubing their Bentleys and all their money and their yachts, and they're like 18 years old? People are fascinated with that. Listen, they're wasting their time watching that stuff because you're using your time to gratify someone else. Yet, if you're having a tough time in life, this is lowering your self-esteem by doing that. It's separating you and your potential from your ability to do well for yourself. When we start idolizing other people or what other people have, or persecuting someone for what we think they did wrong in our opinion, we're really starting to cause an internal problem in our own way, the way we think about things. I see people are so rude right now. I mean, I have people being rude to me all the time. Like, "Get out of the way, Grandpa." That's one I heard the other day. "Hey, old man, get out of here. Make way for somebody who knows what they're doing." I heard that one too. I was riding my bike down the street the other day, and two youngsters came along and knocked me off of it, thinking it was funny. Then I caught up to them. So the bottom line is, it happens to me. I know it's happening to a lot of you. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with lack of respect and values and morals, and what's going on to create bad values, no respect, and no morals. It's the information our kids are getting. It's the information even we are getting, because I'm seeing adults doing the same thing. If you're casting a stone at someone else, you better take a good hard look at yourself. I know myself, sometimes as a human being, I have a tendency to judge, and then I realize, you know what? You've done that. If you really admit it, deep down inside your perfect little self, you've probably done it too. You've probably done everything that you're persecuting someone else for, or had those thoughts, or was negative, or maybe even pornographic. All that is excusable. What is not excusable is persecuting and judging another human being. When we judge other people, we're really kind of judging ourselves. And when we judge other people, what's really going on inside of our head is we have low self-esteem, and we're just wanting to make ourselves a little bit better. The way you make yourself better, first of all, is to focus on loving yourself. Decide that you were put on this earth to be special, that you have special gifts, certain talents and capabilities, and the way you become special for yourself is to use those. When we start persecuting and judging other people, or being rude or indignant or have no morals or steal things, what happens is it destroys our self-esteem. There's a little thing inside of a human being that knows right from wrong. And if you don't know that, then you're pathological. It's time to go get some help. However, if you do know that, it creates guilt. It creates trauma inside of our own thought process and a nasty pattern of not doing well for yourself. So today, I want all of us just to shut up. I want us all to just really focus on ourselves and what can we do today to make this a better day? What can we do to lift someone up if they're being persecuted rather than kill them? What can we do today to be nice and to be a good example for our kids? You know, the ones that are watching all of this happen and think it's okay to do it themselves. We're creating a society that's going to be pretty hostile. I can't believe the shift just in the last 5 to 6 months of the hostility I'm seeing towards one human being to another. Those of you who are being nice to people, that are listening to what I'm talking about, that are actually working at practicing this, good for you. This is going to get a lot more done to save our society, to save our country, and to save the world than the other. So let's really be careful about judging someone else or thinking we know who they are. Because the bottom line is you can be married to someone for 30 or 40 years and still never really know who they are. It's just too darn complicated. However, we can make decisions and choices in the present moment today to where we can lift people up, make people feel good, and by doing that, we're going to help ourselves. So let's work on that this week. Until next time, this is Dr. Gary wishing you an extraordinary, facilitative week towards lifting people up. Until then, bye-bye.